need to figure out a better way. I keep wanting to include the sound, but then I don't. I might be coughing a lot because right before this, I had some watermelon instead of chocolate. And definitely choked on it. I choke on watermelon really easily. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite fruits, if not my favorite. But yeah, it's like for some reason I choke on it, and then it also like my stomach doesn't like it too much. But anyways, welcome, happy Monday. I love Mondays. I love Mondays. Oh shoot, I need to charge or oh boy, plug in my laptop. Um, Always something. It's like no matter how prepared I get, it's always something. But anyways, yes, I love Mondays. I am feeling a lot more prepared and ready for this. I don't know how long this will be. I feel like it'll be relatively short on the Blake Lively things, but you never know. And I have some things to say around just that, which I feel like a lot of content creators are saying something similar or adjacent to it. But, anyways, before that, this is not a sponsor, guys. This is not a sponsor. But this, I just had this. If you like, um, oh gosh, Cocoa Puffs. I have it right there too. I was like in the mood for Cocoa Puffs. And then I went by this and I saw, I was like, oh, let me check that out. Looked at the ingredients, like, okay, I can have all of these. And it tastes exactly the same, except this is organic and stuff. And doesn't have, what do you call that? Sugar syrup, corn syrup thing. So, this is not sponsoring. Um, I didn't even know who it is, but yeah, very good if you like Cocoa Puffs. I love Cocoa Puffs. It was so sad when I came here, discovered Cocoa Puffs, went back to Europe. They had Nesquik shaped similar to these things. They're like kind of just like little squares. And I was like, what? It tasted not cardboard exactly, but it tasted I don't know, not good. So I was disappointed. So I was like really weird to get these, but I was in a mood of trying things, and yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So I have some little new feature here. This timeline, we'll see how that works. It's all Canva and OBS at this point because I don't know. I don't know. I'm scared to branch out. I know Lauren suggested StreamYard. I'm scared to branch out into that, into anything else. I need to put lotion on and I need to cough a little bit. Hold on. Man, the worst part is like choking on like something liquid. Isn't that? All right. So, we're going to start with some random introduction thoughts. I just started with some and then just a couple more and then we'll talk. I'll talk. Hopefully if anyone, I would love participation about the Oscars, but that topic hasn't been what do you call it? A hit. So I might be the only one talking, but I have some thoughts around the Oscars. I have some thoughts. And then we'll go into the Lively stuff. Right now, it's called Lively and not Lively-Baldoni because it's mostly about her. And there's not much, but what it is not fun. And then I don't really have closing thoughts today, but we'll see. I'm sure they'll come up. All right, hold on. Let me put this this lotion on. This looks so weird. I don't know if you can hear me. This microphone is really strange because sometimes if you like, it's not saying, if you hold it like right straight to your mouth, it's not working. Or I don't know. I don't know. It's like magic, honestly, because based on the tiny little bit of what I know about microphones, it's like magic. But okay. Anyways, now I'm lotiony. So, first of all, I think I saw Dune after did I see Dune? Did I speak about Dune last time on Friday? I think I saw it after Friday. Um, at least like the second half, because I think I saw it in two parts. I've been trying to sleep somewhat. It hasn't been working at a good time. And I'll say one thing. One, I didn't even finish the first part. I lost interest so fast. I was bored out of my mind. I don't know. It wasn't that this one had more action. It just had more story to me. But it might just be because a lot of movies, I think movies are subjective, period. Anything, art, almost anything in this world is subjective minus some factual, like absolute facts. So someone's experience on Dune could be so different than mine. But I I felt like it had more story. The thing that I wanted to say in this introduction that doesn't really have to do with the movie itself was that I don't like I want to call him Timote because well, close, not quite. I'm not pronouncing it perfectly, but I knew a Timote in college, and so I see his name. But yeah, Timothy, um, whatever his name is, I don't even know because I never really liked him. And in Dune, I liked him. In Dune 2, I liked him. And more than that, it was I haven't felt the love come through the screen in a lot of movies. None of the movies that I've seen, as far as like Oscar nominated, I don't think that many had love in them, which is kind of sad when I think about it. But this one, when him and Zendaya were on the hill and they kissed, spoiler alert, I guess. I don't know. Is that a spoiler? Did they kiss in the? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I felt something and I don't know. I don't know. And he also throughout this movie, I felt like he was much better than in whatever the unknown was, the complete unknown. But I think it was just the different character style, which made me kind of appreciate him more. And was okay. I'm talking about the movie, but anyways, I was like, okay, maybe he's a good actor. I don't know, but anyways, it was just like a little personal I don't know, win that I actually felt something when they kissed and I felt love. I don't know. So, yeah, that was not at all. I mean, I guess that can be part of like how you critique a movie because there's it's supposed to make you feel something, right? But I don't know. Anyways, and then sorry. It sounds like I'm sick, but it's just watermelon liquid coming back up. Then okay, this is this is all the introduction stuff is also quite Oscar oriented, most of it, except for one part, which I don't know if I should go into it now or later. Like, I have three little points. Um I'll just go in sequence. Just kind of this is how I wrote it. I'll try to stick to it because otherwise I get crazy. The Oscar party. So yesterday, I don't know if I mentioned that I was going to an Oscar party or I kind of just like casually, you know, slid over it. And I was excited. Sunday, I don't know what happened that I was like more stressed than excited or sad or something. I don't know. No, it wasn't sad. It was just like one of those like moments of like, I don't know. Anyways, life stuff with family, I think, or I was also watching The Substance. And I didn't get through. I got through half of that because I was I was making these feathers that I put in my head in my hair because my dress, you can see it on the thumbnail. My dress had similar feathers, and this is actually watercolor. Didn't think that it would work, but yeah. And I felt really weird. I was like, I don't want that energy into what I'm going to wear tonight. And so I changed to Wicked, which I had started the night before. But yeah, and so I think that I remember just like that really like I hated how I look. Like it was just like so, I don't know. Anyways, so but I was really excited about the dress, about everything. I'm not 100% excited on how it fit me because it can do better, but here we are. This is the body I have right now and all that stuff. And I also realized that I got the confirmation, but I didn't get an email with like, what's the code to get in? And, you know, so, and then realizing that I'll have to park on the street. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable. This isn't like New York where people are walking and all the time and all. This is like there's no one. And if there's someone, like, are they like safe someone or are they not safe someone? This is that kind of like town. Um, so I was like nervous going in. It was okay, but it was definitely most of it was rebuild your life awkwardness moment. You know, when you're like, I've I've not been in any scene in the world lately in years, and so now I'm like rebuilding all of it, and it was definitely like a chunk of. I felt pathetic at times. I felt awkward. I felt completely like out of the box, but like the box as in like left out, out of the group. But there were some people that I recognized from back in the day, and it was more than recognizing. And this is why, like, it makes me kind of sad that I don't know if it's just me, but I think just the world has changed, and it matters. Those little things that you think don't matter, that like for an acting school, like you just what matters is like the process and what you're getting out of it and all that stuff. It's not like that. Everything matters. The environment you're in can make or break you, or can help or hinder you. And right now there's like remnants of what it used to be, but I think back to what it used to be, and that was something that helped so much. On one hand, like when you get in, it does feel like you're, the new kid in this well established group of um, chosen family, basically. But it also, like, I don't know, it didn't take, well, it took kind of like almost a year, but it took some time, but it wasn't as like uncomfortable as you would think. I don't know. And then now everyone's like split up, and the only way to get like more in the family, but even then it's like online classes, but they're everywhere in the world. And then I don't know, this is not the point. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. I Yeah, it was. I would just want to acknowledge, like, it was really interesting and comforting and cool to have that familiarity with people. I remember, this is why I'm saying, like, it was like you weren't one of the group, but you were at the same time. Because, like, a couple of weeks into joining back in like 2017, I went to one of their parties, and um, I felt like what I was like waiting for my whole life, as far as like friend group and stuff, and just to see everyone, that was like kind of family reunion kind of, or I don't know, if we're Europeans, like it's just that kind of party that you have, that some people like each other, some people don't, but it's everyone like shows up. And um I don't know, it was just like really cool. And so it was nice to I never like I kind of got out of the school, I think, a little too early to like really establish connection. And also just the past few years, I've there's isolation that has happened. So I think that like there wasn't anything strong enough. I hadn't been there enough time to have that be strong enough. But then when I am going back and when I see these people again, it had that familiarity, and it had like a layer of extreme awkwardness, and I wasn't exactly myself, and I kind of was, and it was like weird. But towards the end, I interacted with two people that like a little bit more than like the whole rest of the night. And it felt just very energizing, like heart energizing. I don't know if that makes sense. So, yeah, the familiarity of people matters, and building that and having that. And a few people, or at least one person that had like been to the previous school location, but was a newer person, was saying like just even the physical environment, like the chairs, for those people that know, they know, um like it makes it, like for me it's like harder because it like drains my blood from my brain, and I can't really perform my best. And I know that's like, when you're doing acting, you don't have much control over the circumstances necessarily, but there's like to the prep at least, or to, I don't know. But those are things that, just other things. Um and then I'll go into this quick one before going into the next one. September 5th or September 5, however it's like called. It was one of the movies nominated. I loved it. It was a really good movie. I was surprised because I thought it was going to be more like documentary-ish, or um like it wouldn't engage my heart that much, or my brain, or my interest. I don't know. But it actually made me think of how I've been doing this, and watching the one guy, I forget, it was like the control room manager or something, that was making I mean, there were three guys that were kind of like making the decisions or not, or and in conflict at times. And it made me think of, there was one scene when this one guy, I don't know the actor and I don't know the character's name, but I think it was something like controller manager. He was like making these decisions, like show that shot, and everyone's like, I don't know, or like show that, and then also explaining, obviously in the movie, explaining why, you know um and I thought this is kind of what like this YouTube and the YouTubers that we're watching around the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni stuff. And you might feel this way about others that are talking about other topics as well. Um, but I've not felt like this before, where I have something that I'm like chasing the story and understanding why I want to share certain things. Um, and why it's like important to show certain things or talk about certain things in like this greater scheme of things. I don't know. So I was like, oh, did I miss my calling to be a journalist? Not really. I don't think that I have a calling to be one thing, but I did think about that. The similarity. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then lastly, before getting into the Oscars, Oscar talk, like including AI, I didn't know about this going in. I'm glad that I didn't know, because I would have been even more upset. But um this is like, oh gosh, this is going to be controversial. I feel like I'm kind of more anxious sort of to get into this topic than what I've talked about as far as like politics and Donald Trump and all this stuff. um, there's two things. I was watching Donna, Daily Dose of Donna earlier, and one thing that I can say is that I can relate to is this. It's funny because I think this is what I said on Friday. This feeling that suddenly we're becoming like take down Blake Lively and like mean girl and or mean guy, depending, on the YouTuber, and like it's all about like hunting her or like taking her down. And that's not why I think any of us are talking about it. The people that I watch and me, I don't get that sensation from others, and I know that's not my reason to talk about it, but you get so triggered and you get just pushed in this corner where you're just like attacking and barking and biting because you're like pushed in this corner. And she was talking about that, how um she's like, has felt this energy and has gotten the comments and the criticisms and all this stuff around like becoming this like mean takedown person sort of thing. And I can relate to that. And I think I spoke about it on Friday as well. Um, but what is like the fine line between being triggered and kind of actively defending something, a cause that you believe in, and then like being just mean and combative, you know? And over the weekend, and I guess I'll like share this first actually. I got into like a little Instagram war in Spanish. Not really Instagram war. It was like I posted a comment, someone replied to me in Spanish, which was like, were you trying? I mean, also, even if I didn't speak Spanish, there's a translation option on Instagram. So were they like, I don't understand. I don't understand. That was like really odd to me. Like, were you thinking that I'm not going to understand what you're saying? Um, so it was on this post. Oh boy. What is okay, sorry, it was correct. So it was this post. Sorry about like all the little things. I'm figuring out the layout. And this was bad choice of lyrics, I think, in my opinion, with what is going on. I mean, to be honest, I feel like as soon as I read the caption, I felt offended because I don't know, offended is the right word, but I felt triggered because this is kind of awful to say about a man with kids, with a wife, with family, with a good cause in his heart that is being taken down by this other person, and it happens to be a woman, and in like one of the worst possible ways, especially considering his life mission and something that he's so passionate about. But the caption reads, "Draw the cat eye sharp enough to kill a man," which is from Taylor Swift's Vigilante stuff. I'm not going to say the word. I don't, what is ICYMI? Does anyone know? I don't know because I don't know. But um, this is like a it's supposed to be, I guess, like a Gossip Girl fashion style thing. But then someone was also, I was reading, there was a lot more negative comments than positive ones, at least when I saw it. And then one comment said like you used to post about like Gossip Girl fashion, but it's just became Blake now. And I mean, Blake was on Gossip Girl as Serena and off Gossip Girl. I guess on Gossip Girl they were all kind of that, but off screen she definitely became more and more of this fashion model, basically like a real life walking socialite sort of, but not socialite model. I mean, I guess she is socially. She could have been socialite. And so yeah, but this one was for another simple flavor. I will always get that wrong. Favor, and blah blah blah. These are like screenshots, I believe, from the trailer. Um, I'm I'm not curious to see this movie. But yeah, anyways. So I wrote maybe not my shiniest moment, maybe my mean girl moment, but I wrote, "Oh yes, we can wait forever to support someone who wants to destroy men and their families over her losing some money due to her own actions and words, but using them as scapegoats after she took over their project completely. No, thank you." I initially just wanted to say, "Oh yes, we can," but I thought that wouldn't have been understood. So then I get this ya señora amargada, deje de criticar si no le afecta. And I'm like, it does affect me. So, and also it's not about me. That's why I said, and I don't know, I'm like nervous, so my pronunciation is not going to be great, but just bear with me. pero es que sí me afecta mucho y personalmente. Además, lo malo no debe ganar y manipular los inocentes y el público. Así que no me voy a saltar de luchar por lo que es sano y bueno por la sociedad. ¿Tú qué haces con tu vida? Being selfish? So what I said is, and sorry for Spanish. Hi, P. Sorry for Spanish speakers. My pronunciation, and also if this was not the best grammar and word choice, because yeah, I'm like having like a hard time breathing. I know I coughed most of that juice out. Anyways, but yes, it affects me, and it affects me personally too, and a lot. On top of that, like the bad can't, I don't feel, and this is where I was like trying to say more than I felt like I could write in Spanish, but I don't feel like, I don't believe, I don't want the bad to win and manipulate those that are innocent and the public. um so therefore I'm not going to like stop to fight um for what is like healthy and good for society. Actually, like writing this in Spanish made me focus a lot more on the mean, or like it made me come to say something with the meaning that I wanted, rather than if I would have written in English, I think I would have not had the best meaning. Hi Maria, hi Arnaldo. um and so yeah, and I was just like the little jab, like, what are you doing, being selfish? Because I guess to me is like, yes, it affects me, but yeah, I mean, ultimately it doesn't affect me unless I maybe end up working with Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni, or their tentacles. Not saying that in a bad way, but like, the branches of them. um but besides that, like, this is not why I do this. This is not why I speak about it. This is not why I'm watching about it. This is not why I'm commenting on this. I mean, honestly, this was maybe, like I said, like the my initial comment maybe was a little bit or a lot mean girlish. But what I really meant, and my where my heart is and my purpose for this is, um I want what's good for society. And there's plenty of bad right now. There's more bad. Well, I don't know if more bad, but there's an imbalance towards bad that's like growing towards bad for society stuff, for manipulation of the public, which, kind of has always been there, but you could argue that it's more now or worse now, more consequences now, more effects. Um, and like all of this, I feel all the other YouTubers that we watch at least could echo, like, we're doing this not because we love or hate Justin or Blake, but because of what it means. And I spoke about this the last one of the last times is, as when I said, like, I just blanked. My brain just blanked. But something about like how this is like more for, we can't do as much probably for either. But when it comes to politics, it feels a lot more overwhelming, and a lot, we're like even smaller of a part that could probably influence politics. Whereas for this story, not as many people are into this story, and also, it's a little bit less manufactured in a way, although now with the CIA guy coming on Blake's side to like manipulate the media, basically. That's and I want to jump ahead into the SNL part, because this is I've compared, I've seen like when I watched The Apprentice, I saw a similarity to Blake and Trump, and or what Trump was being, um not groomed in that kind of way, but taught, like, attack, don't take responsibility or don't take failure as an answer, and always never admitted defeat, always like win, and things like that. So, and then SNL comes around, and I was like, oh, so I'm not the only one who saw the similarities, and they're both blonde. But yeah, so yeah, that's my little Spanish fight over here. Um, this is, no, it's not the same person. I mean, 40 million followers. I guess that's like Blake's followers. I mean, I could care less how many million of followers someone has. Like that doesn't disprove that they're manipulating the public. That's a kind of, not, doesn't prove it, but definitely, if you had like 4 followers, it's harder to say you manipulate the public because you have so little power. Sorry. So yeah. Um Content creators are being attacked. You have to be careful. Don't let them get you. Yeah. I heard on X about that. X is on fire today. Oh, really? What is X going on about? I have only been that one time with the cord. Um, I I have like mixed feelings when it comes to all of this. Like, obviously, yeah, it's like, be careful, but also again, this is a freaking celebrity story, and it's not only a celebrity story, but a society, something that's like almost deciding, are we going to keep our society safe or not? And so I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of, not because of this. Mm, I don't know if I want to say like slowing down the Blake Lively coverage. I don't really have anything else that, I've had like a latch on for you guys, for the audience. So I don't know. I'm kind of swimming blindly when it comes to that. But it's just, I think I was like talking about it a little later, or I had like a talking point about it a little later, that as it's becoming a lot more like with legal jargon and legal filings, and there's so many. Sometimes there were like 5 a day lately, and a lot of them were just like admin things. And I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any really tangency to it. Like if it was psychology, I could like keep above water. But with lawyer terms and processes and all that, I am like, I understand less and less and less. And even if this is an opinion based channel, or yeah, like a reaction based channel, um, I need to understand what I'm reacting to react. And I definitely noticed that sometimes I read these things and I'm like, I have no idea what this means. I have no idea what they're talking about. So I'm passing that torch on to channels like Lauren's channel. She's fearless. I'm worried like more about her channel, because she is really like reading all of these things and all that stuff. But I love that she's doing it, and hopefully that'll like work out well. And then there's like a few lawyer channels, Emily D. Baker, but she's covering something else. And then the 2 lawyer guys that were on Jersey. I was watching her video earlier, but I didn't catch her name. Um, Her video, and then I think Dave Neal was on their channel or something. I forget. But anyways, so they're pretty cool. They're like lawyers, and so it's between those two channels, I feel like this is that their time, because this is like right now a lot of like little bits and sprinkles of information, a lot of unknown, a lot of like speculation or allegations now. I mean, we started with that, right? But now it's this fight of knowledge. Like, is this true? Is it not true? Should it be admitted at this point? Should it be a conversation topic later? Should it be, you know, um, basically censored from the public? Should it not be? All this stuff. And so, yeah. Plus, I think it's like my ADHD that's like getting over it. I can't really say because I hyper focus or hyper fixate both and either. And so, like, that's getting tired. It's like, okay, next subject, next topic. This is why, like, with the Oscars, I gravitated towards that because it was like, it was a different topic, but it was like interesting. And it was in this chunk of like Oscar movies. So it wasn't just like, opening it freely to any movie because that can be overwhelming too. But I don't know what topics will work and all that stuff. But yeah. And yeah, I agree that it's going to be an interesting next however long now that this, I want to say Robert Shapiro. Is that someone else? But I think it's like Nick Shapiro, right? That is like taking over. Kirsty Flaw, she was talking. I am so skipping over. She was talking about how her, what is it? Watch this. Watch her video. This video. She was talking about how she, her Wikipedia people. A lot of people. Sorry, a lot of people were talking about her Wikipedia being changed, and she in this video she talks about how different fans and people like helped her find out that this person that changed a lot of her Wikipedia page and also got the other person blocked, not banned, semantics, and the relationship that I guess he has to Ryan Reynolds and a few other people. So check this video out.
You need to look
Something
yourself in the
about
mirror
like,
and
yeah, Rocket 55. Unless they're all bots. Yeah. I don't know because this would make sense. If this is real, what she's found out, it makes sense. Um, because this guy works for a marketing company. And if this is the real person that's working for this marketing company and does SEO, then it would make perfect sense to change the algorithm, to change the SEO on her Wikipedia page because she is like on the front lines of everything. I don't know that she will be able to not have to show up to trial, whichever side. But like I was saying, I think Blake Lively's side would want to like get her and on the stand. And yeah, I don't know, but sorry. Yeah, check it out for sure. The judge has scheduled a team's meeting. Yeah, yeah, that is also on my little note list. Um, yeah, that's all crazy. Let me wrap up my. I'll actually talk about that later. I'll move my last opening thought to my closing thoughts. And then move on to um do you guys want to talk about Lively or Oscars? I feel like no one is interested in the Oscars. um yeah, listen to Lauren's channel for details. Yeah, she's going to go live. I don't know how that works, and I don't know. I hope that she knows what she's doing because I feel like that is just I yeah, I was watching that video of hers talk about it. And I'm so confused. How is it like a Teams meeting but live? Why wouldn't it be a Zoom meeting if it was like open for the public? I don't know. I don't like Microsoft anyways, but yeah, she said that she is going to do a live if it works. She will. She didn't say if it works. I'm saying if it works because I don't know. I don't know. A lot of softwares have become kind of they've found their way to like not be able to like stream their content that as easily. So imagine Microsoft maybe. But yeah, it's so crazy though. So crazy. But I will, yeah, I'll participate. I'll, if there's a link, I'll go in. Not participate, but watch. If we're allowed, why not? All of us. Like, if we're allowed, why not? Um, yeah. So, um, I guess I'll finish the lively stuff. And then, yeah, I've been like talking so much about the Blake Lively things. I'll just like finish this first and then we'll move on to, or I'll move on to the Oscars. Whew, gosh, I'm out of breath. For those of you that are joining a little later, I was saying that I had an unfortunate incident with with a watermelon slice, and it went the other way, on the down the other pipe, and so now I'm like out of breath. I've coughed. I feel like 99% of it or something. I might just be out of breath because of the coughing though. So it's annoying. Um okay, so talked about that. Yeah, okay. So um Teams have the same functionality as Zoom. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like Zoom is a lot more popular. Not everyone has knowledge of Microsoft Teams, and it's a lot more officey. So that's why it surprises me that it's public. Because when I heard that, I thought, oh, that must be for privacy reasons, for security reasons. But yeah, she was saying like, no, everyone is free to tune in, I guess. Lauren also mentioned, um, what was it? Gosh, I don't remember what it was what she was talking about and the topic was, but something around the lack of integrity of publications. It was some page 6 article, I think. It was, I think, in that same video of hers, if not one of today's videos that I was watching of hers. And I thought, again, back to like September 5, the movie. I thought how, man, you have to watch September 5. It's another one that can correlate or have like this overlay of understanding of what's happening as far as like media coverage of this and of anything really now. They definitely, I guess, started this trend of covering, like fighting for the coverage. I don't know, starting the trend, but like integrity is like second almost. And it's this whole like fight within that insular body too of these like 3 individuals. I think it was ABC that they were. And yeah, so it made me think, because she said something like at least they got their clicks, even though you know they're not waiting for people to reply or giving them enough time to reply and all this stuff. um they're going to learn. And yeah, gosh darn it. I thought, yeah, well, slipped slipped on this point. I don't have that much like specific information, but yeah, it was something interesting to talk about. I also feel like it's like, oh gosh, like it's so overwhelming for me to like tackle the correlation because I feel probably my subconscious like, oh, I'll just like talk endlessly and just be like a total nerd about this. I think it's like sociology part of it. But basically, in the movie, it was covering the Munich Olympic Games um, in 1972, 74, something like that. Wait, 74, right? It had to be 74, right? And there was an incident of Israeli hostages taken by, I guess, Black September was like a group of um, like Arabic people, like and I'm saying that because, like, I guess in the movie at least, they called them terrorists, but it wasn't a term that was usually used before that. That's what the movie was like, kind of showing, and so this I guess kind of coverage hungry attitude almost, where it was like, do it and ask questions later, or answer questions later, kind of erupted. And so it reminded me of what Lauren said in her one video about how these publications, like, they publish a story or they write a story and then take little consideration for the people to, like, speak on it and respond to it. However, at the same time, if you think about it, if, like, the other person or the person involved in this story responds like, no, this is not true, like, I don't know, I feel like there's a rabbit hole at one point of fact checking before you are able to publish a story, and everything would slow down. And in today's world, it's kind of hard to slow down. And then like, is it also integrity to be that extremely careful to where you're going with what one of the parties mentioned or the party mentioned um says you should go with, um yeah, but I can also see the point of, like, yeah, you do need like a little bit more time to respond. But in the that's a spoiler. I mean, it's not kind of a spoiler if you know history, but I didn't, so I'm gonna spare you the spoiler. But basically, it's like that, like, just saying, doing the headline, publishing something, or in that their case, it was video, transmitting something, and then not making 100% sure that it is what it is, or kind of, or whatever. But also, like, but can you ever? It's a really cool movie, but wanted to mention that. The other part, before I get to the SNL stuff, which I'm sure you guys have all watched already, um, I didn't see a lot of the Oscars because I didn't know what time they started. I thought they would start at 8. I think they did start at 8, but I think I was like so thrown off. I was expecting for it to be a little bit more like organized, the party. And so I was so confused. And at one point, I saw on this little TV that was going on, and some people were huddling around it. And then I found out it was in this other room that the whole thing was. So I missed most of it. But I saw some clips of Deadpool dancing. Donna was saying, I didn't see it on her video, but she was saying how someone that she knows from ABC or from Disney says, well, ABC and Disney, I forget who owns who. And so it kind of makes sense. Um, I think from a point of them fighting for their brand that's being tarnished or attacked right now, as far as Deadpool. And then I think Andy on Popcorn Planet had Brendan Sklenar's um, stuttering interview. Like, Andy wasn't on the red carpet, but the interview was on red carpet, and I was going to search for that, and then I didn't. Um, oh, ooh, wow. Are you guys like the reason that you guys were talking about the content creators, because Donna is live right now, which she's never live this late? Or I don't know, not usually. Okay, YouTube AI needs to get a little better. Every time I type in Donna, it knows what Donna I'm trying to get to, and it always gives me everything but her, which I think she was talking about that, how that might not be a coincidence. Um, but oh gosh. Um, I'm gonna tune in for a quick second here.
Ends with us.
What's the company's name?
Wayfarer.
Good.
Go.
All right. Do you know who's Blake Lively's husband?
Ryan Reynolds.
Why was Deadpool dancing at the Oscars last night? Blake's fault. So I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna have to like reset my router or something. But I just mentally and emotionally could not take all of the extreme anger and hate and name calling over the last few days. So I said,
Wait,
these
what?
two people are no joke, and they really go deep into talking about who these people are. And it is wild who these guys are. And this is no longer a little Hollywood legal lawsuit. This is no longer just like a little fun, PR get. This is serious shit. And you would think it was just kind of a joke until a couple of more things have happened. Sharsty, my friend Sharsty, who a lot of
Mhm.
you guys have found me, this Wikipedia issue. No.
I want to know why the moment that Nick Shapiro came on, oh my gosh, what the heck with Perez Hilton? I want to understand. When it kind of like hit me was with the Deadpool accident and how that was not exactly covered up but swept under the radar. And Donna covered that. She, to me, she broke that not news, but broke that piece of the puzzle. And that's when I felt like this is weird that this couple has that much power. It doesn't make sense because you think of so many celebrities and more so like old school celebrities, I guess, but you think of so many celebrities that are more well known, to be honest. They're bigger, they're better, they're just more well known, and yet they don't have that power. And some probably are even more rich. I don't know. They don't have that power, or they do and they don't use it. Either way, like it felt like a bigger thing. And then when they hired this CIA guy, I was like, I internally kind of lost it. I was like, this is absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane. This is not the type. This is not the type. Like, what is going on? What is going on? When we were talking about Blake Lively fighting, like, just ruthlessly to the end, I don't think anyone imagined it would be this much of a fight. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why. My son was going to help me with Shirsty, but he said a lot of people are already helping her out with Wikipedia. Yeah. Um, yeah. Donna, yeah, she's live. I just like clicked on there to see kind of why. I'm gonna watch it after this. The media is still mad that content creators led the way on the Depp trial. Huh. But I don't like the term content creators because it's the public. It's people. You know, I think of this is going to be an interesting analogy. I think of Beauty and the Beast. You know, when they were spoiler alert when they at the end were as a village going to kill the beast. And I think of that, not the best analogy as far as like wisdom, because they were led by one person that was telling them, hey, believe this. Whereas now we have so much information and we make up our own minds, even though people can say, well, it's all ultimately sheep following, you know, these content creators like hubs, you know, whether you're with Donna or with Dave or with Andy or with Candace or with Megan or with whoever. But really, at the end of the day, I feel like I would bet a lot that you if there is that kind of initial like sheep, like, oh yeah, I'll believe whatever they say, I think most of the time at one point we all make up our minds and we get exposed to different things or something that just like clicks for us or whatever. But this is, to me, in when I read something like that, as far as like the content creators, you know, leading the way into a trial, into like the um, public perception, or you know, helping the trial or whatever, it's like it's the people. And that's why with this whole like justice system issue, I'm so curious what they'll talk about on Thursday. And maybe the Thursday thing being for the public, maybe it is that way for that same reason that all of these filing documents are usually public for the public. Um, because in a celebrity thing, it kind of doesn't affect us, doesn't matter that much. But in general, like when you think of how the whole system was created, it was created by the people for the people. And this is not like a, you know, political rhetoric and political like fun phrase, because I know I've heard it that way, but like, but literally every political system, every government, every system, every celebrity system, everything is created by people for other people. And for us to not have the knowledge to be empowered to make decisions takes us back to when people didn't know how to read, and the church didn't want, like the um, Christian church in Europe didn't want them to learn how to read so they could be controlled more easily. And you know, maybe they were making excuses, well, they're like not smart enough and they'll like misunderstand things and blah blah. But I think those were excuses, where whether they believed they were just excuses or they believed it was truth, it was really at the end of the day excuses to maintain power and control over masses. And I feel like that's what's happening now. And once the CIA person joined, it became about that even more, because now it's not like, you know, public conversation and anyone can have their opinion, and the celebrities on both sides can have, you know, their headlines and their whatever. But now it's like actual media control and like public control and manipulation. And so and manipulation doesn't always mean like false narratives. Manipulation, I'm saying, like in the sense of the control, but manipulate, forming, you know, shaping things. Um, so yeah, they're crazy and this is insane. Absolutely. It's insane. And so the moment with that Deadpool story, which happened like a while ago, but that moment when I heard about it, that was like my first like whoop, you know, like in those like I think submarines, no, they don't. But there, I imagine always like three red alarms. Like the first one went off, but there were two others, so it wasn't like okay, all hands on deck. It was just like, oh, warning, something's off. And then to have that much power to like cover that story, again, not even cover it, it's just so like massage it so it's not, it's like public, they can't say, no one can say, like, oh, yeah, we like completely hid it, but they hid it enough. And then the next alarm went off with the CIA thing. Um, because it was like, wait, this doesn't have any place in such a discourse, in such a issue. This is not world leaders. This is two celebrities. Which also at the same time makes me think of like my mom who was saying like, or like other people that were saying like, oh, whatever, two celebrities, too privileged, celebrities. Not what are they saying? I don't know. And then the third alarm went off with yesterday when I saw the Wikipedia situation with Jersey, and I was like, I was just, what, what are they afraid of? Because that's the thing. Like, why go to such lengths for a content creator, a journalist, a Hollywood reporter? you know, I don't think she's even talked about like politics or government because this has nothing. There is like nothing about that. Like there's no relationship as far as to why oh, we're uncovering some like deep sect or something, secret society. And you can think about that, and there's conspiracy theories. I don't believe that, or I don't see any evidence of anything like that, that is pertaining to this. It's just really crazy. It's really crazy that they're holding on so tightly. For what freaking reason? And the only thing that I feel at this point is because they're so used to getting their way. And by they, I really do feel like Blake, because she comes from the family that has been in this business for so long. And, Ryan might have been that personality type or, whatever. But really, I feel like she's the one that, like, always gets her way. And like it's that powerfulness in that family. But that's what I think. I think it's like simply to just win. It doesn't matter how nonsensical it is, because to her it's nonsensical. She wasn't accused of SH. She wasn't accused of anything that she can't come back from. I I know we talk a lot about like, oh, she's done or she has to be done or like whatever, but she didn't do that bad of a stuff to not be able to come back from. Except she can't come back from it without saying sorry, admitting fault, being humble. And I think that's like ultimately what this, like, they will use anything in their power to win. It's not even about taking down Justin. It's nothing about taking down. This has nothing to do with Justin at this point. The moment you bring in this like CIA PR crisis manager or whatever, nothing to do with Justin or the SH allegations. This is all about power. But it's insane that they're going to these lengths. That they're changing a random reporter that, yes, released the one video that didn't wasn't manipulated. It was like Blake talking, you know, and digging her own grave. And somehow Jersey is like, even if, and this is, Jersey has like said numerous times, she has no relationship to Justin Baldoni or his team or anyone. This was like just by herself. But even if she would have, it doesn't make that much of a difference, because Blake did that. Blake took over. Blake did all of these things and said all of these things. Sorry, I went on a rant because this is just absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane, which is why like I'm surprised, but it also means like this is really serious that and again, it's like if this is happening on this level, what about politics and everything? And let's not even, oh my gosh, let's not even start on the politics side, which that went crazy today too. I had a moment earlier in the car when I felt like, you know, when there's like a storm coming and you can feel it in the air, in the atmosphere, it gets like the air pressure changes and it gets humid, or there's stuff happen, like you can feel it. That's kind of what it's starting to feel like, as far like on a global scale, as far as like safety. I feel like the world is about to get really messed up, and it's just sending me in like a weird space because there's nothing you and I can do about it. There's nothing you and I can do about it this time. It takes all of us to join together, be on the same page against what is being put in motion right now by people that are a lot more powerful, that we can't even touch, even if it's like a few thousand people, can't even touch that. But it's like, it's scary. And for this to add to it, it just feels like this whole like, maybe I don't know if I got underneath my rock from underneath my rock. I don't know if I got out in time or too early, like the groundhog. Like maybe I should like go back in my burrow for the winter. Like the winter's not over yet, or it's just beginning. Um, yeah, I don't think she's done, but her movies are going to flop. People will not watch. I won't watch any. Yeah. Um, yeah, they play dirty. They will twist things around. Um, I think the CIA person is going to make things worse for her. I do. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, what can he do and his team do? As Donna said, I think Donna was saying, someone was saying over the weekend, like they can manipulate stories, they can fabricate, timelines, they can whatever, but we will remember. Like they can't access our memories, and and I'm pretty sure she was the one that was talking about this. Like it's not Minority Report, like so. But the thing is that yeah, Minority Report, Inception, there is memory is not 100% infallible. It's not 100%. Memory can change and alter based on your present. So this is why gaslighting is huge, and when people like even I have started using gaslighting just kind of colloquially and more lightly for lighter things, but like real gaslighting, that's why it's so effective, because memory can be altered. And so, and again, this is such a stupid case. Why is this so important that you have to bring in the CIA? Not the CIA, but you know what I mean. Like, why is it so important? Why is this so important? You're a freaking celebrity. You have so many millions of dollars. Why is this so important? Why are you fighting tooth and nail? Just I feel like we're watching definitely like a War of the Titans type of thing. I just hope Baldoni will be okay after everything is done. Yeah, I think he should move to like another country at this point, just for his sanity, for his well being and his family's well being. I don't think Hawaii is like far enough because it's still part of the U.S. I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah. I'm not even saying Canada necessarily. Maybe Canada, but that's like not fun. And they've been in California for so long, that's going to be a change. But somewhere, I don't even know right now in the world, the way that the world is going, I don't know where it's going to be safe and on all sides, like so yeah, he might take some serious hit because nobody will forget. Yeah. Um he or she or both really. I mean, I don't know. The other part is interesting because this is like flaring up with all of this like content creators, being attacked. Um, but again, this is like when she released the complaint. We're all over it. Lately, we've all been like, I don't want to cover this anymore. I'm going to cover like here and there, but like we're all tired of it and we're just like losing interest. Like the as much interest as we had at the beginning, also because there's like not that much coming out, that condensed. And I thought about that, as soon as the Baldoni amendment came out. It's like, wow, like we're oversaturated already. Um, so again, she's like making it worse again instead of just like laying low and letting it pass. And because yeah, like we might, some of us might boycott, but to that person's that commenter's point, like she still has 40 million followers. A lot of people are either not aware of this or they don't care, and some of them probably are on her side, but that's probably a small majority, a small tiny minority. I think most people just don't care, haven't cared so far. Um, and because that's a lot of people, and and also because nothing has been proven technically, But if she would have just laid low, people would have lost interest. We were all kind of saying like, "Oh, I don't want to cover all of this, etc." But here we are, just fanning the flames. It's like she's doing just how her amendment was literally self-scoring goal after goal after goal for Baldoni, for his side. This is what I feel like this is happening. This is what's happening now too. It's like she's like flaming the flame, flaming or faming, fanning the flame, um, intensifying the flame as it was dying down in order to make it die down. You know? Yes, yeah. Oh, and Sweden's awesome. Sweden's like what, one of the top happiest countries, and like super good benefits, and they have good arts as well, filmmaking and music and stuff. So hi Maria. um yeah, he should move to Sweden. Maybe they will in the summer, they'll like go over there, but they might not be able to until the trial is over. um because like, well, I don't know, because they're celebrities. They can fly in and out, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe like legally he has to stay in the country, even though it's not like a criminal case or anything like that. Um, but yeah, yeah, that's a good point. He should go. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Sweden's awesome. Um, but it is close to Russia, and that's what I was saying. Like, because I was thinking Europe, but then I was like, no, because that's going to start soon, I think, based on how things are looking. But yeah, let me see what else Donna was saying here.
Wrote about it. And then she has a new
And
video today, a little bit odd. And they're just they're just throwing people under the bus. And people like Sharsti, this is her career. So it worries me about that. Now, Zach Peter also today had a copyright infringement when he talked about Brandon Sklenar and he used a Hollywood Reporter article. That's something that he said he's never had. I've had copyright infringements when I show clips from, Real Housewives or whatever, trailers and stuff, but never from on red carpet interviews. That is a strange, strange thing.
Oh, so it's this one that I was about to play. Huh, interesting. If I show Andy's video showing that video, will that count? Let's see. That is also that's kind of odd because I feel like Hollywood Reporter, right? They weren't really taking Blake's side. So it's interesting. Interesting. And it's also funny because SNL, I mean, I would say that it was a gentle dig, you know. I feel like they were very cautious with that, but yeah. Blah 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 blah. All right. This site, I'm so like I can't even like re-record it, because I would have loved to see these worms playing the piano. But yeah, this is the Deadpool stuff. Let's see.
Female co-stars as well. Blake Lively, how are you hoping to support her during this time?
I mean, I just, it's a tough situation, and
That was all that I really wanted to play, honestly, because that said it all. Didn't that said it all? And I'm like, it's hard. my my speech today. Um, they didn't get Andy. Well, so copyright infringement. I don't think they can take. They don't necessarily take your video down, but it monetary wise, you lose the ability to make money on that, I believe, or maybe both. But I've had copyright, whatever, come up for like older videos when I was using music or whatever. And they basically say, like, yeah, we'll show it. Some, they're like, we won't show it in the US or we won't show it in certain regions because of copyright. Some say you just can't make money off of it. Um, but yeah, so I am curious. Andy will probably let us know if that did happen to him. He'll let us know tomorrow. I'm curious about that. And maybe Zach kind of showed, the whole interview. I think Andy is pretty good at like kind of like what I just did. Like you just show like seconds and seconds. But it might not make a difference. Um, but yeah, that's not cool. They're mean, yeah. He's tired of her cramp. Yeah, I mean, didn't that like it's kind of like with the Jenny Slate thing where, she didn't come out say like, yeah, this is crazy. No, I'm not supporting Blake, but she or her team or whoever like definitely like said as much as possible without saying it, but he like in his own words,
I meant you are boring as heck.
um it was just like perfection, I think, to show someone who's like, I don't want to get in trouble. What can I say? I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, because he also has current projects, I think, that are related to Blake or, her network, Ryan or like Paul Feig or like all these things. So I feel like he's like thinking like, I am unable to say anything. I cannot say anything against her. But from what I'm seeing, it's not looking good to me either. That's my interpretation. That doesn't mean that's what he said or what he's thinking. This is my interpretation of Brendan.
Support her during this time.
I mean, I just, it's a tough situation, and
No, it's not. No, it's not a tough situation at all.
Andy.
You are either on Blake.
Yeah, it's not a tough situation, but it is for him. It is for like Hollywood people.
I just hope everyone remembers what the movie's about and why we made it in the first place. And
This doesn't even have anything to do with the movie. This is why like it was just kind of I I feel bad for him because I feel bad for people, but I guess I don't know that we should feel bad necessarily for him because he kind of put himself in here. But again, all of these people that support her or have supported her, we have to keep an open mind as to why and what's behind that they might not be doing so from such a free will place of knowing everything. They might be doing it because the knowledge that they do have is limited to Blake's side. Um, they might be doing so because, it's like, I want to work in this industry, or I just caught my Blake. I just caught my Blake, and I need to, keep with it. There's like so many different reasons that they might have taken, her side. Um, and hey, there still might be some stuff out there, but it does. Like, I don't think anyone with the truth on their side would hire a CIA crisis manager, PR crisis manager. You wouldn't need to. If you are telling the truth, you don't need to. And I don't think Justin Baldoni and what is it, Steve Sarowitz or whatever, and the billionaire guys, I don't think I might be wrong, but I don't think they care that much to destroy someone's career just because they didn't get their way or something, because they didn't. That's the thing. They could have said all the stuff that has come out now. They could have said it back then, and maybe legally it would have been different. I don't know, but I don't. Gut instinct is not going that way, and just like Brendan's, I don't know, reaction to this question. Yeah, just everything's pointing into like not that. I also want to say that with Paul Feig, um, is he Swedish too on with that name? But he said something interesting too.
I really just admire her so much. And Anna's the same way. I mean, the three of us really, work on stuff and make sure that we're doing the best. And they're just both really wonderful artists.
I thought to me that was a little PR-ish, a little diplomatic. And it almost sounded like he's not on like Anna's side. It almost sounded how we hear people talk about Blake now. It sounded like he's talking about Anna. So I wonder what that's about. Because I know that Anna has had her own share of, um, controversy and mean girl kind of like comments and all that stuff. She's hard to work with. But at the same time, also, like, she seemed, I don't know, she seemed pretty normal and humble and hardworking. So, um, because of where I am with this Blake stuff, I almost want to say that he's uncomfortable because, um, again, like when I think of the body language, like you can't really know what he's lying about, or if he's lying, you can tell that something's there. And what I'm kind of sensing and what I'm kind of interpreting, personal opinion here, is that he's aware of some creative differences or tensions or like situations between the two of them, people on set, whoever. And so that's what he's reacting to when he's preparing to talk about that. Not necessarily that like Anna is bad or Blake is bad or whatever, but that's my interpretation, that he's feeling kind of uncomfortable about like talking about both of them, or like he realized, oh shoot, I didn't mention Anna, and yeah, it just feels very PR-y. Money, Maria, money. These celebrities, I think, no matter what, they should tell the truth. These celebrities are weird. Yep. Yep. I mean, I want to say that, or I want to say, I feel like this is weird. I think this is weirder than anything that we've seen. Besides, I mean, also, like, think about the Diddy stuff. Why is he not hiring Nick Shapiro? he needs Nick Shapiro more. But maybe like, Nick was like, I don't know, this is, I can't even fix this. I don't know. But like, this is crazy. This is crazy. So I agree. This is weird. Well, I don't agree that celebrities in general are weird. Well, I agree and disagree, or I don't disagree with that, I should say. But like, I just feel like this is like unusual to me. I've kind of been under a rock and all that stuff, but I feel this is screaming excessive. Excessive. Anyway, so yeah, go watch Donna's live afterwards. Let's move on to the NSL stuff. NSL sounds like NFL. It almost sounded like I talked sports. This was fun. This was anticlimactic, but also satisfying because we were all waiting and they heard us. I'm sure they heard everyone talk about the criticism that, we gave them around like cowards, SNL cowards. Even though like we understand the politics of Hollywood and stuff, and some of us are more lenient on that than others. But yeah.
Worried I was being set up again. Okay. President Trump met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday. Let's see how it went.
You're gambling.
This is just crazy.
Good. And now, thanks to that meeting, now you actually can gamble on World War III on FanDuel.
I've heard of FanDuel before. I don't know. It feels really weird, but I kind of believe this, which is very morbid.
Trump repeatedly scolded, telling him, "You have real."
This was just so crazy.
A war. No one's asking to borrow missiles so they can. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, "I'd love to work with Blake again."
President Trump.
So, yeah. There's people, everyone has analyzed this. I like how he was going to say Baldoni, which kind of to me says like it's really a talk. Everyone's talking about it there. When you're going on a last name basis, this is like short because it's shorthand, right? Rather than saying his full name. And yeah, but yeah, the correlation is definitely like, why would the victim work with the perpetrator in both instances? So it was pretty clear what side this joke was on. The thing with like Trump, I talked about that already. That was literally painful to watch and just like mind going crazy kind of thing to watch. Like, what? We're watching like a fifth grader reprimand, a college student or something, or, I don't know. That's like, and I didn't mean that to be like insulting. I just meant like the level of like discussion, the stuff that was the insults, the way that conversation went. It was like, what am I watching? This is not a president. This is not someone at the top level, like you expect more eloquency at that level, which that's why people voted for Donald Trump, because of the lack of eloquency, which a lot of people associate that with like manipulation and lying, but that's false. But yeah, anyways. Oh, you've won on FanDuel? I would gamble the Baldoni and Blake outcome. Oh, don't gamble it. Don't gamble it. Because, like, gambling the truth is one thing, and gambling a win is another thing. Because the truth doesn't always win, the good doesn't always win. So keep your money for that one. Especially as things are heating up. I think, at least right now, Justin's likelihood of a win is going down, not because he's not on the true side again, and we also still don't know. There's no verdict, but from what we've known, from what we've seen, it seems like he's on the side of the truth, but that doesn't always win. So it looks worse and worse when you're playing like big guns like this Shapiro guy. I'll be rolling the wins. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm not serious. No, I know you guys aren't serious, but I'm just saying. Keep your money. I was in, yeah. So yeah, another point that I had was Thursday, Microsoft Teams meeting for the protective order. Watch Lauren for that, and also just in general for breaking news. She's like so on top of it, and I feel like that's her niche. Just she breaks the filings as they happen pretty much and goes through them. So watch that. Watch her live. I'm not sure. It was like kind of, I didn't anticipate when they had the court hearing in February. I didn't anticipate wanting to go live, and then I ended up going live because, like I said, I was just so overwhelmed, and it was too stimulating watching Andy's. But Lauren's like more chill, and so I might watch her live instead of having my own thing, and just maybe record if I have any like reaction to anything crazy. But I think I'm just going to be a viewer for that one. And then I wonder if there's a connection to this. Paul Feig on Andy's video, Paul Feig said that he's using his gin this time versus aviation gin, which was Ryan Reynolds. And I wonder if there's a relationship, like a core, relationship between that and how, excuse me, aviation gin was sued. Let's see, I have like a video here. And I don't know this person, but I found this and I was like, oh, interesting.
Himself, Ryan Reynolds at it again, dropping Mint Mobile released an ad which included the last this amazing creator who's doing.
And also, she's awesome. Else Rich. Oh my gosh, Else Rich. I can't. Oh my gosh, what is going on with mine? Anyways, she's awesome. She's going on every video and stuff. But where is this? I did not watch this much of this video, I think. Did I? Oh yeah. So Starcloth versus Aviation Gin.
Amping up her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds was being sued for the same social media tactics that they're saying Justin Baldoni used. Interesting. And now, yes, that whole thing might just be a conspiracy theory, but knowing how he likes to drop little Easter eggs, double entendres, and isn't able to just leave it the frig alone, this video is not a conspiracy theory. This is Ryan Reynolds on a talk show talking about his time with his co-star Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, I thought that was a little reaching, to be honest. I might be a little too lawyerish right now, but I felt like that clip was reaching. The way that he was talking about that, it didn't seem like he was at least showing to the public joy, and like, if anything, he was like an immature little boy that a lot of men are, as far as like boobs. But I didn't really find. I feel like it's really reaching, so I'm not even going to play that. But I did think that this was interesting as far as his gin company being sued for smear campaigning someone else, or astroturfing or something. I wonder if we can find that. Let's see. Shoot, gosh. Hate when it does that. My goodness. Okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot the court. Oh, court listener. I wonder if there is anything on court listener talking about aviation gin. Let's see. I think I should have checked the other one. Starcloth or whatever. What is it? My gosh. This is so annoying. Starcloth. Let's see. I remember searching, like before Google, there were those like search engines at the library and stuff. And remembering like how to like, how we had like those kind of things. Can't find it, but I'm not really good at this. What jurisdiction was it? Florida? My gosh. U.S. district courts. 2625. It's interesting because it's like current too. Okay, let me Google. Here's on Pace Monitor. So, what is Starcloth though? That is not. I think that's what it is. Marilyn Starcloth, Aviation Gin, Maximum Effort Productions. Oh, interesting. Adrian Molina and Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan Reynolds is in 2 legal battles. Isn't that awesome? I disagree. He's still going strong. Wait, who is still going strong? What did I say? What did I miss? But yeah. So November 1st, 2024 is when it was filed. And does it say anything here? So part papers, summons, notice. And it was, I think it was settled. Was it? Maybe not. Maybe that was like the Mint Mobile thing. Something was settled. Maybe this one was. That's interesting. Why couldn't I find it on the other one? I just copied. There's one from one place and copied instead of pasted. Wait, how do I clear? I don't know what I need to figure out what these numbers are. I'm so terrible at this. But anyways, yeah, okay, so it was settled on November 7th, but it was saying that it was last updated in May. Okay, in February. So they just settled. Filing fee. But I wonder who this Marilyn Starcloth is now. This is just, I don't know. Is this person? I hate because so many people have the same name. And friend, sister, woman, normal. Okay. Don't. I was going to say, don't think it's her, but. Okay, March 2020th. Did not expect my Facebook, Twitter post to blow up like they did overnight. Made myself a quarantini. That is weird. That's the last. No, that's the post, the pinned post. Huh. This is so weird. I'm so curious now as far. I guess this is it. This is the person. But I'm so curious what this is about and I can't get to it cuz I don't know how to search things. So annoying. But I search by the judge. Where's the judge? Which judge? I don't know. Good. It might not be public, I'm guessing, or something. Maybe it's unpublished. It's like 0. Why is this judge name so familiar? Mizell. Anyways, oh, Justin Baldoni is still going strong. Yeah. I'm sorry. I went down this rabbit hole cuz I'm just so curious, but yeah. But I wonder if this is the reason why it wasn't used in Another Simple Favor. That was filmed in March, though, right? But I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Probably not. That's probably a stretch. I don't know. I'll try to figure that one out. But yeah. Anyways, the other parts are the Oscars. Before the Oscars, I'm just going to go. I'll just leave the closing thought to the closing thought. It is not a popular opinion. It's a very unpopular opinion, maybe, or whatever, but I felt kind of strongly about, and I'm going to take my chances and share. But the Oscars. So apparently there was AI used, and my question is how much AI is too much AI? Excuse me, how much AI is too much AI? According to a PBS article, it was said that both Emilia Perez and the Brutalist, almost called it the Aviator because I still had that gin thing. They, no, thank you. They both used. This is not the one that I had. What is going on with this? I guess. Wait. Okay, they changed this up. But anyways, they used AI to alter speech to make the actors sound more authentic, their accents sound more authentic. I'm guessing, and I didn't actually read this. I just kind of skimmed, and so it says the Brutalist and Emilia Perez, which use a technology called Respond feature to alter the way that the actors' voices sounded with the actors' permission. You've also got the God and Complete Unknown. They use a different AI tool to make a stunt double's face look more like the star. Chalamet, that's his name. Sorry about that. So they're all kind of small, subtle things, the kind of visual effects tweaks that we've seen in movies for decades and decades. Are they, though? Are they? It's one thing when safety is involved. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Fast and the Furious had some where you could so see like it was so fake. You could so see that it wasn't real, that it was like this superimposed face. But when it comes to stunts and safety, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, visual effects. But when I'm thinking of people winning awards like Zoe Saldana, Adrian Brody, they both won in their category. And I don't know that their accent was important to them winning those awards. I think the accent can have a layer of their performance and of their effort that they put into their role, though. And so, as not someone who's aspiring to be an actor, really, but as someone who understands that world and is doing it, sort of, I feel like to go from that to like, and like they also, I'm sure, put so much effort into them, and to some degree you can only change your voice and stuff so much. It's like, um no matter how much you lose weight or gain weight or work out, like your muscle mass or your body proportions, whatever, they're kind of set, to an extent. Like, especially when it's bone. Like, you can't do anything about it, right? But I don't know. To me, that feels a little bit like cheating. It does. I'm not sure that it would, that was a deciding factor or even a major factor in that decision of who won. I think it's more as far as performance, as far as like um the acting part, invoking emotion and stuff. Um, but when I think of Mikey winning for Nora, I feel like she won because of the effort that she put, because her character wasn't. Okay, let's see who, because I was going to go through this too. Let's see who was nominated with her. Not actor, actress. Cynthia Erivo from for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon from Emilia Perez, which Conan did not hold back on that one, on, on his joke around that whole mess. Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Torres, actually, because she's Brazilian. Fernanda Torres. I tried. So, uh, hmm. I am one of the people that was highly disappointed that Demi Moore didn't win. I felt like, again, I didn't even watch the whole Substance, but I saw some of it and enough to see how well she did. I mean, then again, I didn't even see like half of it. Like, a lot of what I saw was mostly it was half and half, her and whatever the other actress is. And I think also because she has not won an Oscar, and I think this isn't a type of an award that only matters what you did now. It is kind of, there is like, it's on a curve, graded on a curve sometimes. Um, I think Demi Moore should have won, and I think she should have won. But again, I think Mikey won because of the effort that she put into the role, not because necessarily she was amazing and an amazing role. It was okay. I still don't understand. I don't understand the wow of Honora. They won so much. They won Best Picture. I think he won everything, like directing and editing and writing. I think and Best Picture. That's insane. Part of me is like, wow, because to do all of those for a feature film, and their budget was 6 million, he was saying, that is impressive. When I heard that he also did the editing, I was like, okay, yeah, he deserves this, just because that is crazy. Crazy. I mean, I love what he said, that he saved the director, which is also him, and the writer, which is also him, he saved them in the editing room as an editor because he did all of the roles. And I was like, I know exactly what he's talking about. I've done that on my movies so many times. You save your directing and your writing in the editing room. When you're the writer and director, you know what to tweak in a way like, oh, yeah, I'll change my story a little bit because we didn't get that shot or whatever. That's not what I'm saying that he did. I'm not saying he did that at all. I'm just saying, like, that's an example of something I've done. It's like, oh crap, like we didn't get that shot or that angle or whatever. Or yeah. So I definitely related. So I'm so conflicted because I feel like better performances were snubbed in some of the categories. But I also can appreciate and I'm happy for Sean Baker because to do all of that is like incredibly amazing. Um but as far as like the actress, I am upset that Demi Moore didn't win. That I am upset. I'm upset because it was a meaningful role. It was a meaningful not just for her and for women, but for like just like as the storyline. And it was, I guess, more geared towards like the women and the vanity of it, but really it can be applied to anything. Um and yeah, I feel like yeah, I just felt really sad that she didn't. I felt not shocked because I knew that Honora was so loved. My one instructor at the school, uh, she talked so highly about Mikey, and I knew the sentiment of people in Hollywood and all that stuff. I don't agree with it. That was like, why did I waste my time on this movie? Is how I felt. I think also Yura's performance was amazing. It wasn't amazing to win him a supporting role though. I also don't understand why Kieran Culkin won though. And also why everyone talks about like, oh, he for sure will win. I don't understand that. Oh, I missed a couple of things. We will support him, but this industry likes to blacklist each other. Yeah. Yeah. What I was thinking to as far as politics though and world politics, it makes me wonder if it will even matter, kind of sadly. But yeah, it might be hard for either of them to get hired, in my opinion. But they've been using technology to make certain stars look younger or older. That is true. Some argument could be used for voice tech. So, but the younger and older, I don't think that should happen unless it is. mm, like Benjamin Button. That is a hard pronunciation. Something like that I can understand, even though you can have prosthetics and like, actual effect, visual effects versus special effects. I forget which one's which. But yeah, I've seen some movies that do the older and younger look, and I'm not a fan. I don't think that's cheating, but I think that's like you can do better. You're just like saving money. But are you actually saving money? I don't know. Now maybe, but cuz it's like cheaper maybe the technology, but versus hiring another actor or like making it seem like the storyline is not so fragmented because they couldn't find an actor that looked exactly like the younger version or older version, or younger because older they can just add prosthetics and stuff. But yeah, yeah, it can become a slippery slope. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm mainly saying is like, what effort are you going to put into a role? Like when I think of like what I love about actors, when I feel like they so like wow me, it's because of the way that they transformed. And I wonder now, like The Apprentice, because Sebastian Stan was so transformed into Trump. Like his mannerisms, his like face, his gestures, like all of it. I'm like 99% sure that wasn't AI, that was just him, but it was so like when you compare, and he didn't win. So when you compare, but I mean, there we go. Adrian Brody also had a role that is favored in Hollywood. And this is my closing thought. I'm not closing this live. I still want to talk about some other Oscar things, but because we're talking about this, it's like a leading into it. I get the bad of anti-Semitism, and I'm not even like, I'm in no support of anti-Semitism whatsoever. Any hate crime, any hate speech, any hate sentiment towards anyone, anything, in my belief, is wrong. Even when I talk about Blake Lively or anyone, is like, I rarely say I hate someone, because that's a very strong, and I feel like we should never hate anyone or anything. It's a very strong energy. And I feel like it's wrong. But as far as like cultures and ethnicities and all this stuff, it's even more wrong, because when you say like, oh, I hate this person, I hate that person, just because you're mad, like, I think people generally understand that it's just like you just feel triggered or whatever. What I notice is that there's like, in Hollywood, there's such like, it's a genre, you have like all of these different genres, and then there's like Jewish film. And I don't really understand that. And this is more like me genuinely asking for clarification with a preemptive opinion. Is preemptive the word? So my opinion might be ignorant. I feel like there's been such like atrocities in the world, like slavery in the US especially. That's the one that I know most. And that still has repercussions that are really bad to this day. There is, almost no privilege for descendants of slavery. There is like Native Americans, and not just like of the US, but like all of the Americas, all the indigenous people here. There's I was actually Googling before coming on here. I was Googling like, past atrocities. There's Rwanda and Darfur, and there's other things. I don't understand, and I'm not saying this necessarily critically. Like, I'm saying this really out of confusion, but also with a tinge of frustration. I don't understand why there are all of these movies around this topic of being Jewish and of Jewish history, that I understand the importance of them and having them, but to the point that they're celebrated in a seemingly imbalanced way compared to others that I don't understand. And this is not like, oh, there's a conspiracy to this, like, secret society kind of whatever conspiracy theories are. I'm just saying that it's kind of either my ignorance or, other people's ignorance. I don't know. But there's like an ignorance to it, because I just feel like the moment that I sort of understood what The Brutalist was about, and Adrian Brody, the last time he won for The Pianist, also around Jewish history, and so it's like it's weird because I I I feel weird talking about this because I know it's like potentially so controversial, but I feel like it's a point of conversation because I just feel like it's not just. I feel like there's an injustice, and I just like I speak about, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, and I feel very strongly about that injustice, and I can see clearly the injustice there. Here, it's not as clear, and it's like confusing, and it's a mixed bag of stuff because there's the injustice of the history. And then I feel like it's the imbalance also that's happening right now because no other in what I've observed throughout these past 10-15 years, whenever the last time he won, I don't feel like any of the other actors stood a chance because and I know what this sounds like as far as gosh, this is such a tough one because like I understand like the conversation usually had, but I'm just getting quite like frustrated to see things happening and we're all pretending like it's okay or just not covering it, or even me like being scared to even like bring up like a hand like excuse me, but this is looking a little off. And yeah, I don't know. With what's happening in like Gaza and Israel conflict too, I think that's kind of when I was like, oh, and I didn't speak about it immediately. I'm speaking about things now, but at that time I was like, this doesn't feel comfortable. This makes me feel so uncomfortable. Why is the coverage and the sentiment and the tragedy so much greater for these three people? And I saw this like on Donna's show, and I don't know the story. So again, this might come from such an ignorant place of mine. Why is this so much worse of this? I think it was a mother and two daughters or two kids. Why is this so much worse than all the other people on both sides that have unfortunately lost their lives? And I'm talking about like kids and women, not like or even women because Israel has a strong like military women in the military. And but like talking about like civilians losing their lives on both sides, but I also feel like there's just again just a bias, and it just bothers me. That's all I'm saying. It just bothers me. And when it comes to Hollywood movies, I don't understand because it feels like it's more than just coincidence, and it's more than just honoring what should be honored and condemning what should be condemned, and standing up against history repeating itself and against injustice and against like things that have happened unfortunately to a group of people and ethnicity. I just again, I feel like there's just something off that has been bothering me in the last like um well, actually for a long time, since like Saving Private Ryan. That was a long time ago. I was like, this looks odd. I don't even know how old I was. But now with, have watched so much of these Oscar movies and have like sort of developed an idea and opinions and favorites. And I mean, I just said like everyone loves Honora and I don't get it, and so, and also, like, I'm not saying Adrian Brody didn't deserve this, and I'm not saying The Brutalist wasn't a great movie. Just like Anora, I feel like it was better than Anora personally, even though I didn't like it. I couldn't even watch the whole thing, The Brutalist. But I feel like it was a better movie because I feel like it had a point. I don't know. This is going to turn into like controversial opinions over here. So I'm not saying that it shouldn't win or all that stuff. I'm just like uncomfortable with the bias, uh, and why any group of people matters more than other groups of people. This is where I'm like, is that what's happening? Because it feels like that. But again, that might be just my ignorance, not understanding something, missing something. I know, the history, in a general sense, and what we are taught here, but it's not enough to like match the two together for me. But yeah, because I feel like I also, to go back to the Oscar thing, I don't understand Conclave winning the BAFTAs. I think won for Best Picture at the BAFTAs. Maybe because it was like a British movie, which I didn't know, but I didn't. I thought it was a great movie, but I don't think it was Oscar like whoa movie, So, but yeah, that's there. Yeah, and then A Complete Unknown. Yeah. So I guess like this is the first one in this list, this first category. I was rooting for Sebastian, not just because he's Romanian, just because watching The Apprentice and just how he transformed both of them, him and Jeremy Strong, it just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. But especially Sebastian, I think, really transformed into his character. Whereas Jeremy Strong, I think, was amazing. And he, just like Demi Moore was snubbed, I feel like he was snubbed. I think he should have won hands down, Jeremy Strong. But I don't think, watching interviews with the guy he played, his character that he played, it was a little different, Whereas with Sebastian and Trump, it was like you're really like, it's hard to tell them apart, except that he's not, exactly looking. He's a different person, but yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible. So he should have won. I think in people's hearts that watched that movie, I think he should have won. But again, also, I feel like Adrian is a good actor in the half of the movie, an hour and a half or 2 hours that I did watch. Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah. I don't know. That was, yeah. But for supporting role, I don't understand Kieran Culkin. I don't understand. He was good. Like I said, like a lot of these people, it's hard to find people, find anyone who's like, oh gosh, these sucked. But I don't see that it was comparable to Jeremy Strong. Just like Yura was good in Anora, was great as far as like studying acting, watching his choices and watching him be a almost silent actor, but not that good, not Oscar worthy, I guess. But neither was Kieran. And I want someone to tell me why Kieran won. Why is everyone like, I think because people didn't watch The Apprentice. I think that's why. If people watch The Apprentice, I think they would be like, whoa, why didn't these two win? I'm just saying. Or also because maybe politically they didn't want those characters to win. But it's not about the characters. But I wonder if that's like also something, again, and which leads me back to the whole politics behind all of these things, that is like, something's off. Actress in a leading role, Mikey won. I don't think she should have won. I almost said deserved it, but I think everyone, again, like all of these people were great. Even Carla Sofia Gascon, yeah, she has like not a great, you know, she has her controversy right now. Not great at all. But she was really good. She was really good. So yeah. But yeah, and Fernanda, oh my gosh. I mean, these were such strong, and Cynthia, they were such strong. These were strong women. These were strong actors, regardless of their gender. But I don't think Mikey was at the top. But I think she won because of all the preparation that she put into it and the transformation from who she like is on, in interviews and in person versus her character. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder what they're like voting for when they vote. Actress in the supporting role, Zoe Saldana, which I wonder if she pronounces it Zoe Saldana. But yeah, she moved me to tears. I literally cried. And I had these long nails on, which it was my first time like wearing these nails. And it was like, this one's a thumb. It was like that. And so I was like, those like Instagram influencers or whatever, like just trying to touch without like poking my eye. But yeah, I cried. I literally cried when she was giving her speech, and it moved me, and I was so happy for her. I love her so much, and I was so happy for her and for what it meant, um, for her to win. And it just, yeah, I cried. I can't even believe that I cried. I I can't even believe it. I was so moved. I wouldn't have cried for Sebastian, just saying. Like, even though, again, Romanian, and I think he was so deserving. Um, Something about Zoe is like, I don't know, it was just the whole thing. But yeah, also amazing people. I also don't think that Ariana should have been supporting. But someone was talking about how she was supporting kind of maybe like Zoe just because um to not compete with their co-star sort of, to have more like chances of winning, something like that. And I'm like, well, that's kind of crappy because yeah, I feel like with Emilia Perez, even though I guess Zoe had more screen time, but the story was about Emilia Perez. Um, and so yeah, but with Wicked, I don't know. I've seen most of it. I haven't seen all of it. It just felt like they're kind of like equal. Um, but yeah, I don't understand Isabella Rossellini why she was nominated. She was such a, I mean, she was a supporting character, but she was such a small role. And she's an amazing actress. I don't know. And Felicity Jones and Monica Barbaro, she was also amazing. She was probably the best part of this movie. I don't know. Maybe I just don't like Bob Dylan. I don't know. I was talking to someone yesterday. I call them the OGs. And we're both like not Bob Dylan fans. Um, but he was saying that he kind of liked more than he thought he would like, as far as like songs, or like found like a an appreciation for him. I don't know that I mean, I did a little bit, but I'm not gonna listen to his songs. Like, I don't like the voice, I don't like the style, I don't know. But yeah, so maybe that's why I didn't like it that much. Didn't see these except for Inside Out 2, which I just felt like it was boring. Didn't see the short film. Cinematography, Brutalist 1. I don't know why. I'm glad Nosferatu. I don't even know why Nosferatu isn't on here. A Different Man should be on here. A Different Man had really amazing cinematography. But whatever. Dune Part 2, it was pretty good cinematography. Emilia Perez, Maria also, I just watched that. And I'm sad that Angelina Jolie didn't win. And that people were also saying that she might have not been nominated. Again, the inside politics, and depends on who's on the voting committee, because it's like peers basically and stuff like that. So yeah, but I don't know. Angelina Jolie was really good in that one. That I also cried at that movie. That, and it moved me in a haunting way. Also made me question if I had the disease that she had, but I have not lost weight. I've gone the opposite route, but yeah, I don't know. But Maria Callas, didn't know she was Greek. I got this like book on her from a family friend years ago, and so I always think of them now when I hear about this movie and stuff. Um, but yeah, what a story and what a movie! Oh, so beautiful, such amazing. Actually, the more I think about it, I don't understand why she wasn't nominated at all. That would have been tough between her and Demi Moore. That would have been tough. But at least the nomination. I think Demi Moore should have still won, I think. But like at least I can't believe she didn't get nominated. But I don't understand. I don't know. I didn't see anything special about The Brutalist as far as cinematography, but I guess I don't know enough. Costume design, I just know that he's from Akron, Ohio, apparently. I don't really have. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what this is. So not my area. Costume design. They all seem like comparable to me. I don't know. Directing, Honora Sean Baker won. Uh, sure. I don't know. I feel like even though I didn't like the substance, I feel like the substance was better, maybe. I just don't get Honora. I just don't get anything about it. I just don't get anything about it. Emilia Perez, I mean, they're all pretty equal here as far as directing from my perspective. I didn't see anything that wowed me in any of them because, like, for Emilia Perez, I feel like it was like a contender for best movie because it was just the whole package of it to me was good. Everyone else hated it, but I liked it. Did any of you guys see Emilia Perez? Let me know in the chat. I thought these were rigged. They already decided who they wanted to win. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. It's again, my understanding is that it's voted by peers in the guilds. So Blake Lively had a say in it because she's PGA right now. So people part of the guilds. Justin Baldoni is part of the DGA, so he got a vote. So it is kind of like, playing favorites. That's why I didn't really watch the Oscars. The only reason that I'm involved and I'm like having my opinions is because I'm having my opinions because I don't agree with a lot of the winners. And I was disappointed but not surprised because yeah, it always feels like this is BS anyways. And the movies, like you can tell what movies will win. There's like a certain something about them. Like they should be somewhat boring and artsy, or I call it artsy fartsy sometimes. Like very into themselves and like very into themselves. Which The Brutalist was, and Honora to an extent. And it, I rarely see movies that have an inspiring heart and soul win and that they move social change. And have positive energy. I don't think they ever win Oscars. Um, so yeah, but again, this is why sharing my opinion. The Apprentice, you could say, doesn't really take those boxes off either, but it was such a good movie. It was just such a good movie, from the cinematography to the costumes to or production design in general, to these actors, Jeremy Strong and Sebastian Stan, and all the it just was the story. I mean, I feel like just the story, to keep it as neutral as they did, not for or against Trump, or not for or against his supporters, like, I think that's an accomplishment on its own. Um, to get that right is hard. To not have a political message in such a politically based character right now, and such a controversial and polarizing character. Um yeah, so I don't know. I will talk about that movie for a long time. I was just impressed beyond impressed, but that made it only a tiny little bit. Just, I think it was just Sebastian Stan that got, and Jeremy Strong that got nominated, but the movie I don't think got nominated for anything. Instead, The Conclave did, which was a surprisingly good movie, but it was underwhelming. It was just kind of like, okay, that I'm already forgot about it, And some of it I felt like it was sci-fi. I've talked about that on Friday. Film editing. So I'm going to go just through the things that I kind of know a little about, or have an opinion about, not everything. But yeah, film editing, Honora Sean Baker, I feel like he should have won for this, just based on the story that he did everything. Because, yeah, I don't know. At the same time, in a way, when you're the writer and director and you're editing your own movie, it is kind of easier, because you don't have to collaborate. You don't have to work with someone. It's one of the hardest things, to delegate and to collaborate on a vision, and to have delegated your vision. So in one sense, you could say that was cheating in a way. But yeah, film editing, Wicked, Emilia Perez, Conclave, The Brutalist. Um, I think Emilia Perez was pretty strong at editing. Pretty strong. I'm still here. Ainda estou aqui. Brazil, I'm still here, won for this, and I was so sad. So sad, so happy, so moved. These were my two favorites. I'm Still Here and Zoe Saldana winning. Winners wise, these were my favorites. I didn't see The Girl with the Needle though, or The Seed of the Sacred Fig, or Flow. So I might change my mind once I see that, but I doubt it. The one thing that I did criticize I'm Still Here, because the ending, fast forward timeline part was a little odd, and kind of it took us out. I don't know. I don't think it was perfect, which is why I don't think it could have even won Best Picture. It was nominated, but yeah, I think it had its weaknesses, but it was a good movie. If it stopped, at that point, and just didn't do the fast forward to today's or whatever, it would have been a very strong movie. Makeup and hairstyling, The Substance one, which I guess, this was hard between that and A Different Man. It was a tie. When I was putting my favorites, I could not decide between these two, because I thought A Different Man was strong, but then I also recognized that I didn't even see a lot of the substances, makeup design and stuff. So yeah. Um and then Emilia Perez, Wicked, I guess, and Nosferatu, kind of, but why was Emilia Perez here? Oh, because of Sofia, what's her name? Sofia something Gascon. Yeah, maybe that. Musical original score, The Brutalist. That I feel like it was a snub. People didn't like Emilia Perez, but I liked it, and I thought it had really good songs besides like two of them. Um, Wicked also had good songs and stuff, but it wasn't really original. I didn't understand why it was like original score because it was adapted from the musical, right? So that's a kind of a cheat as well, I feel like. Why was Conclave on this? I don't know. I don't understand how they like talked about this because it's not just like about music. Yeah, sure. Like Wicked and Emilia Perez had like actual music in it. I didn't see Wild Robot. Um, so fine, sure, but I don't know. I will have to watch The Brutalist again. Like, what did I miss? Because I felt like it sucked. El Mal was the original song that won. I don't think it was as cringy as Donna was saying. The person that won, the one woman, started singing. I didn't cringe. Maybe because I was like at this party. It wasn't like a party though. It was like really low key and kind of dark and sad in a way. It was not like bright and happy like the one that I had gone, years ago. It was like all like dark and black and barely lights on and all that stuff. It was like just a different space and vibe. But so it wasn't that, but like I don't know, I just didn't feel as grossed out. Like the pain that you feel with the ick. I didn't get the ick, but I thought it was odd. I didn't understand it, I should say. I didn't understand it. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't even the right song. I think. But I didn't understand it. I really was hoping Like a Bird would win. That was a good song. That was a beautiful song and a beautiful moment. So it's interesting because as much as I did like Emilia Perez, I think that was it had some good songs though, and El Mal was a pretty good song. It was a tough one, but I do like a Bird. Wait, before Best Picture, production design, Wicked won. Um, Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu. Mm, sure. I can see this, I guess. Yeah. Dune Part 2 was like, I guess, pretty minimal. Maybe. I don't know. Didn't see the short, the sound. I don't have answers for this, but I guess once it won, I was like, okay, I can see that. I didn't see it in movie theaters, so I don't know how the sound went. Visual effects, Dune Part 2, it was a good one. I was semi rooting for a Better Man just because of Robbie Williams, but it wasn't that great. Compared to Dune, it wasn't that great. So yeah, I think that was good. Writing, adapted screenplay, Conclave one, don't get it. Again, what am I missing? I don't know. Just inside words, I guess. Um, but yeah, as far as this, I think Sing Sing should have won. I feel really sad that Sing Sing didn't win anything and they weren't nominated for that much because those people deserve it. Those people deserve it. 100% deserve it. Original screenplay, writing, Honora won. Don't get why. I do like Conan. Again, Conan. Conan is right. I'm saying his name right. He was courageous. He was brave. And this joke around Honora at the opening speech, I'm not gonna repeat it, but I was like, whoa, whoa. He went there. Um, I think it was like the opening speech or right before, how they like give you a little snippet of this is, one of the movies nominated for best movie. Um The Brutalist, Real Pain. I actually This one was hard, but I like the real pain. I like the substance, and I like September 5. Um, don't like the brutalist. I don't get it. If- I think September 5 being like historical. Mm, I don't know why I wouldn't have voted for it. The substance maybe, or real pain. I don't know, but not a Nora for sure. It was an okay movie, but I remember like I don't have the little notebook. I wrote like 4 out of 10 for the movie. Whereas like Apprentice was 10 out of 10, Sing Sing was 10 out of 10. I think The Brutalist was even like 6 out of 10, and I didn't like it and I didn't get it. And yeah, like I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm still happy like it won the best picture. I'm happy for the symbolic of it, I guess, 6 million, which is a small budget relatively. It's huge. I know when I hear this like being a small budget movie, I'm like 6 million, like I can't even dream having 6 million budget for a movie. But yeah, it's okay. But as far as the other ones, The Brutalist, I thought it was like between the two. Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. And I want to talk about the AI thing because this is why I wanted to, like, it kind of stood out a little bit more once I read about Emilia Perez. But as far as like this, my choice, I don't think I had a choice. Did I have a choice? Let's see. Best picture. I was between I'm Still Here and Emilia Perez. I would take that back. I don't think. I thought Brutalist was going to win. I don't think necessarily those were big. I just like them out of these all. I don't think Wicked was like strong enough. I hate to say that because it's such a beautiful message and stuff, but yeah, Dune was pretty good, but I don't think it had the movement to it. But yeah, so with AI, I this is why I kind of stopped short again to read this, but I wonder, one of the people that I was talking to yesterday at the party was really impressed by Zoe's um accent, Mexican accent. And so that's where, because I was like, yeah, she put in a lot of work and with like a speech therapist, like for getting the accent right and stuff. Because that's what people used to do or used to have to do. Oh, shoot, shoot. Oh, wait. I forgot. I had these graphics but I was going all over the place. So, um, but yeah. And so yeah, I once I read that, after having that conversation with how impressed he was, I'm guessing, and I was going to ask him and maybe even speak a little Spanish with him, but I was just in a very awkward stage of the night. And so I but I'll see him, I think, in another class. He's online, and I'll ask because it makes me kind of sad for him, in that sense of, he was like so impressed, like, wow, she did such an amazing job, and then to find out, oh, that's AI, that she had an accent, and Adrian Brody had an accent, and I guessed Hungarian because I watched without subtitles, and I was like, what are they speaking? Or maybe they spoke both. But I was like, is it like Jewish, Israeli? What is the? Can't believe I'm blanking on like the language. And then I was like, but it doesn't sound like that, and it sounds like Hungarian, and it is a very tough language. It's I would say one of the toughest ones. It might be even tougher than Chinese. I'm 99% sure actually that it's tougher than Chinese. but it's like out of the family with like Turkish, Hungarian, and is it Iceland or Finland? I think it's Iceland. And like they have, it's like the same family with what's what are those people? Oh gosh, I forget. Let's see, Google Maps. Google already knew that I was searching for the maps. What is that country over here? Mongolia. Mongolia. Wow. Yes. So those are actually from Mongolia. That's like the line of language that spread into like it became Hungarian and Turkish, and I want to say Icelandic, or like Sumi people. Someone actually, I just had a conversation on a chat a few weeks ago about the Sumi. Apparently, my name Anari or something was like that. It's something like that, but yeah. So that's like the family of languages. It is very difficult. Cool, I just I don't know. It does bother me because it's something that an actor can change, unlike, doing stunts or even being younger or older. The voice can change if you're, working at it with the right people. And if it can't change, it's okay because people understand that it's an actor. To go back to Emilia Perez, even this person that I was speaking to yesterday didn't know that, which was interesting, didn't know that Selena Gomez's character was American. And so her terrible accent, Spanish accent, was to character. She wasn't supposed to be Mexican. And that was my understanding based on how the media was reporting it. But then as soon as you watch the movie, she literally says that she's like, can we go back to America? And she starts speaking English at some points. Like, so maybe he didn't see the movie, because I feel like if you see the movie, you know that she's supposed to be American. Another reason why, you know, don't trust the media. Can't believe I said that, but yeah, AI has come a long way. Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be an ongoing conversation of where should it be used? How should it be used? Where it's integral? Like, yeah, both from like an integrity standpoint. Like, well, just from the integrity standpoint. It's going to be an ongoing conversation. People are going to push the limits, and only that's how we'll figure out where the baseline should be. But yeah, do I feel like that's a reason for what's his name to not win? Like I said, no. Adrian Brody, no. Or Zoe Saldana, no. I think their performance is not their accent. But I do think that if it keeps going this way, it takes away from the effort and the work that actors put in. Yeah. So, yeah, Emina Perez Selena was American accent. Oh, that's what I was saying. Like, accents are like a vanity reason, AI. And stunt faces, or actors' faces on stunt people's bodies, it's like a safety reason. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that. Demi Moore not winning, being crazy, disappointing. Winning, and the Nora, all the words, and just how I'm perplexed. I don't understand. Went over that. I like how Sean Baker also is listed as casting, but it was like his movie. He was basically like me and the people that I know, small local independent, super micro budget filmmakers with a bigger budget and more like has been working in it for longer and is more well known. Yeah, Adrian Brody we talked about, or I talked about. Didn't get Kieran Culkin winning. Didn't get it compared to Jeremy Strong. These are like my notes. I'm just making sure I covered everything. I want to understand why people hate Emilia Perez. I do. I want to understand why people hate Emilia Perez. I I think I get it, but I don't get it necessarily. Like I just don't get it. I feel like everyone's just kind of on that bandwagon last night. It bothered me so much. This was like my the moment where I felt really lonely and really like, you know, that lonely, like being alone in a crowd where you don't belong, because there were two people, the loudest people in the room. And as I was driving home, I was like, you know, but there's something to it. The loudest people in the room are not necessarily the smartest or the most right people. I'm not saying these people are not smart. I'm saying like that's like the phrase. But to me, like what applied to last night is like they're not necessarily the ones that know everything or know as much as they sound like they know, you know? And so, yeah, it made me think of that. But as I was driving home, but in that moment, I was like, I don't belong here, because they were like, as soon as Emilia Perez was mentioned, they're like, boo. And I was like, it wasn't that bad. This is why I don't interact that much with like filmmakers that are so like, and these people, as far as I know, are not filmmakers, they're actors, but still like people that are like, but I know one because they're from like the original group back in the day, or one, you know, semi original. And I know they watch movies a lot. But I think when you watch movies a lot, I've noticed that a lot of people become really snobby around what they like and what they think about movies. And they're watching it from a different eye than the human eye. And they're not really letting themselves feel and experience the movie. And also, I think I said it at the beginning, all of it is subjective at the end of the day. My opinions will differ from yours and from everyone. Like none of us here will have the same opinion exactly. And we might all vote for different movies and different actors and different like category, you know, depending on the category, different people nominated. And that's movies, you know. Um, but that's why I also felt like for them to yell and be so vocal against the movie was just also not in my value system. Where, why are you bullying this movie? Like, what did this movie did to you for you to hate it this much? Um, I don't like Honora. I don't like The Brutalist. I don't agree with the weight that, you know, Adrian Brody and The Brutalist have, uh, and Honora, Sean Baker, and Mikey. Like, I don't agree with those decisions. I thought Honora was just a crap movie, but not because it was shot badly or whatever. I don't know. I couldn't even tell because the story wasn't there to me, but people say the opposite. But I'm not going to like boo on it, you know? And um in a room of people that have different opinions, make other people feel small or wrong or defective because they don't share my opinion, or have the like conflict that could arise. It would be stupid to have like a fight over like the Oscars, you know, but I'm just saying like in different topics there's a lot of conflict that can arise like that. Um but yeah, I might have done that at times too. I always feel like if I do that, and I was talking about Blake Lively, if I do anything like that, it's like when I'm like cornered and I'm literally in a corner and I'm almost feeling like I have to defend my life. And yeah, it's not okay. If unless it is a life defending moment, but if it's like around like arts and farts and stuff, then it's not okay. But it happens. I just yeah, I just wanted to to share that movie. Like, why do people hate Emilia Perez? Why? I think it was a great movie. I think Selena Gomez's 2 songs, one was good, but 2 of them were terrible. But that's, you know, and it's also weird because she can sing, but it almost made it look like she can't because it was not even singing for what she did. It was weird, but whatever. Maybe she, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. And the last part was yeah, Ariana watching Cynthia sing Defying Gravity. I didn't see Wicked musical. I'm not into musicals because usually they're crappy songs that are forced lines into musical notes. So, Le Roi Soleil from France, that was like, whoa, that's a musical. Because every song was, and I think it did top the charts in France. Every song was a chart topper, a standalone song. And I think Wicked also has that from what I saw so far. Same with Emilia Perez. But generally, I don't like musicals. So, yeah, I should, I guess, watch more because these were pretty good. But that moment with Defying Gravity was really moving, really beautiful, so beautiful. Um, and that is all. That is all. With my topic, because I'm like crossing things off, and this was technically it was in the introduction, and then it's closing, and then I put it in the middle. Um, the thing that I was saying with like there's been so many atrocities through the world. The message that I'm trying to get out of my brain and into here to everyone is like, um, of course now I forget it. Um, I'm very much for equality, justice, love, peace. Like equality in that sense of like love and peace, of everyone being safe and loved and happy. The way that we are as a humanity right now, we're far from achieving that. We are going against it so many times, where we would have the means to have less poverty, to have less atrocities, to have less war, to have less conflict, to have less um, trafficking of anything, um, to have less of the problems that we have. And it's sad because right now the US is literally doing the opposite of increasing aid to tackle both inside and outside of the US problems. Um, and I guess that's where I'm coming from with this. Like, I don't feel that any group of people should be above any other group of people. It's always a complicated and complex conversation because there's like this like history everywhere in every kind of situation like that where it's like, but how far back do you go? And it gets messy and complicated and confusing. I just wanted to say, I guess that's where I'm coming from. The message that I'm trying to like speak to is, I think love should be equal and fair, and attention should be also equal and fair. And what we honor, we have to be careful to not overlook things just because they don't have the marketing of it. And I think that's been a problem in the US for so long. 9/11, I feel like, did a little bit more like of an opening to the outside world, where in the US people heard more international news suddenly, or like more, had more access to it, unlike times before when there was also an interest in the outside world. But this time it was like we literally have internet. We can literally stream from other countries directly, not have to wait for local media or national media to feed it and also translate it to us. And yeah, I just feel like there's still a bias that I don't like seeing, but I might be just missing the point. I just might be missing the point. The only point that I guess I want or to make is everyone's life matters. And it hurts me when I see injustice, pain, suffering, power controls, all this stuff on anyone. I don't feel like I see anyone deserving more than someone else. This whole thing with like Ukraine too, it just makes me sad. I don't think the US has a right to privilege. Like, oh, well, they're fighting over there. Doesn't, we don't have to get involved. We don't um it's kind of going back to school days when, in theory they teach us, like, if you see something, stand up. If you see someone get bullied, don't just stand and watch. And the shame that we were taught to have. And yet when we grow up in workplace, it happens all the time, and more in the US especially, but all over the world. I feel, and when I, have traveled back to Romania, and I see the progress of like every person for their own, less community, less standing strong together, more standing weak apart. And yeah, it's kind of like, it sounds almost like a mixed message, but it's not. Like, that's like, it's just hard for me to like, I don't know, put it into words, I guess. I don't know. Taking one day at a time to keep my sanity. Yeah. There's these memes on Instagram where it's like the one person running after the other, and the other is like, oh no, and they run more. And there's quite a few of those, like with like my mental health, and then running after me is like the media, the news, really. So, yeah. I think because of the pandemic, everyone connected through social media. We saw what was and is going on in the world. Yeah, but it made us weaker because we saw, but we weren't empowered by the community that empowers. Because standing alone, or standing with like the few, family members or friends, if you're lucky, to have that much, even, like, and then even families became, further apart because of the polarizing of Donald Trump the first time. So many people were like, so many family members were going head to head on social media. And even like in person, they would like disowning, all these family members. So I think it's like this perfect storm of weakening the people. And I don't think it's this conspiracy theory that, this is like controlled from some sort of top. Because it's like, where does it end? What is the top? I think it's a perfect storm of circumstances that create the world we're in, and the things that are empowered now are empowered because of the circumstances. And we're in the place where I think more than ever we know so much more and so much less at the same time, because the education has been less and the interest in politics has been less because we have social media. So we're like focusing on influencers and on Blake Lively's and on all this stuff. And like, I love Rachel Kirkconnell, but like she's the only influencer I follow. So like, what is she like? What makeup is she using, or where did she go, or the Bachelor people or whatever. So like our attention is like more split. We have the access, but I don't think we use that access. Does that make sense? Um, but yeah, I think something that the pandemic showed us, but I don't know that it taught us, was also how connected the whole world is. If something happens in one place of the world, we're not safe. Um, yeah, it depends, but like with like a virus like that, that's strong enough, that there are viruses that are strong enough but are contained, um or maybe not strong enough like this one. I don't know. Um, but with viruses and with nuclear weapons and things, those two things is like no one's really safe on this planet. That's why I was like, you can't really. There's no place where like, oh, Antarctica maybe. Maybe that's where it's safe, but maybe not even there. And also, if there is a nuclear war, then the climate will be unsafe, and so you end up not surviving anyways, kind of. So, and I think that's why in one way we're kind of safe from that, because everyone kind of knows, like, if we launch something, they'll launch back, and like we're all dying. But also you never know, you don't know any of this. The same with like, a pandemic and biological warfare. Like it's like, there are people that are more reactive than responsive. And so if they have the like their finger on the trigger, we're screwed. Um, and yeah, but yeah, it's an odd time we're living in that I think we're starting to understand as odd. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to go. Probably not right now. I'm pretty tired, but maybe tomorrow. I'm curious what Donna said on her live. Also, I think tomorrow people will say a lot about this whole creator thing. It's just like I can't understand. It makes me even more triggered and makes me feel even more like speaking out and keep speaking, and staying on this topic, because it's like, trying a small group of people trying to silence a whole nation almost, like, and dividing or like manipulating the memory and the understanding of facts and all these things. And I don't get it. I just don't get it, why they're going to these lengths. I don't get it. It feels very dangerous. And yeah, right now for sure, it's not making them look good. It's making them look worse. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. To the public right now, it's making it look a lot worse that they're hiring the CIA. Like, it's just stupidity, but it's also kind of working. It's working because the media is reporting, the biased stuff. People are afraid to speak out, as far as like in Hollywood. And yeah, it's working. And it does feel like we don't have a say. And we're like being silenced even more. Content creators and all of us, or anyone, is like subject to like have their comments be deleted magically or this or that. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It doesn't make even any sense. So crazy. So crazy. With that lovely note, I'm gonna I'm gonna close today's live here. Um, I have switched my classes on Thursday, so I won't be able to make this month Thursday. And I'm not sure going forward. So it's just Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, and maybe like, you know, Wednesday if something crazy happens, or I don't know, just I feel rested enough and stuff. But yeah, 9:15. I am going to get better at this. Excuse me. And yeah, just little improvements here and there, figuring out new topics to talk about, not just because, but also in case, you know, this whole content creator war is going to go down. But also just because I am not a one interest person, so it's been hard to stay as involved, as focused on, you know, on this. But thank you guys for being here. Have a wonderful night. I don't know why I did a thumbs up. Have a wonderful night. And yeah. And be careful eating watermelon. All right. Bye. See you guys tomorrow.